buzzing straight through the glass, kicking down the door fast. Gotta take it. Ain't no bottles, man. This is a passion project, all right?
You're right.
It's still a non-profit status. What's up, man? It's Bussin' It Up podcast. We got my man Nate in the building today. Special guest, formerly Nasty Cuss. Can I say that?
Absolutely.
We gotta take a look at the past and then throw it away, and then the future's looking heavy. Looking heavy.
Definitely.
He has rebranded himself from Nasty Nate. If you knew him in the past as Nasty Nate, throw that out the way. It's still a product. It's not a haircut, but it's now Best Barber 717. My man Nate's here. Say what's up to everybody, Nate. Say what's up, man.
What's up?
We're gonna get into a lot of his story and everything he's got going on, and I want to introduce to you guys part of the team. She's always been part of the team, but she's now, she's gonna be on this episode with us. We're gonna introduce her. We're gonna introduce you to Cashley.
Hi.
That was good, man, because we did this already too. And then at the opposite end of Nate, we got Elijah. He's gonna be part of the Bussin' It Up family too.
What's going on, y'all?
He's 20 years old. He's a baby. And
yeah, I'll take it. I'm a baby. What can I say?
Nah, man. We was talking about some topics, but yeah, man. I was thinking about a lot of. This week has been a crazy week. I'm very into just being in the know, and I'm not only into being in the know in so many different in one like hip hop, or I'm really into like health and stuff like that. But I'm into being in the know as far as everything. But I think it's important now because I think as opposed to the past, like in the past, we only heard what was on TV and what was in the newspaper. So credible sources were judged differently back then. Like credible source was the New York Post or the Washington Post. But now I think with how many different resources we have for information in so many different aspects of life, what is a credible source? I think nowadays we have to use a lot more. We have to pay a lot more attention to where we're getting our information from, and we need to find those common denominators within each source that we're getting that same story from. I think 10 different news outlets can run the same story, but I think the way you find the truth is where's that common thread within all the stories. That's the new way of finding a credible source in my book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody has an opinion. They say about a story, what is it? Everybody has a side of the story. There's two sides to the story, and then there's the truth, right? So, I was just thinking about that and thinking about a lot of different things. I mean, there's so many different things we could touch on, But you know what, Nate? I want to touch on a lot of things you've been doing, because when I met you, you were cutting hair out of your house, right?
Absolutely.
You want to tell us a little bit about that, or?
Yeah, that was somewhere between 2008 and 2009. I don't think. Did you ever hear that?
No, I didn't. Stop.
But I was basically, I was basically at a wit's end with trying to figure out what type of job that it suited me. And I always had clippers in the house. And what it took for me was I got a bad haircut. I'm not going to mention the shop.
That's cool.
But I got a bad haircut, and I just told
expose them.
And I told myself, I'm like, all right, I got the same equipment at home for the most part. Yeah. And if I'm going to wear a bad haircut, a bad haircut lasts you at least 3 weeks. I'm gonna give myself the bad haircut.
That's a fact.
I initially started out with just grooming myself, and then people start seeing like, oh, that looks nice. Who cut your hair? And I'm like, I cut myself. And then it translated into family members and extended family members, and then their friends, and then I was just like, all right, I can make a couple dollars off this. And with savings depleting and the need to thrive, I just started charging people. And from there, it's just like, how do I make the best of what I'm doing? On the technical side was a lot of learning on my own and advertising. You yourself know, because you was a major part of what I was doing as far as branding and advertising.
I just wanted to stop you real quick, because when you talk about like the technique, like you really get to, I think you really learn who your true friends are when somebody lets you, in your beginning stages of being a barber, try out haircut styles on them, right? Like, like you gotta have, you still friends with a lot of those people, or?
Most, I mean, I would literally, I would say at least 90% of the people that started out with me from the house, I still have.
Wow. The other ones you just fucked up, and
I mean, there was a few mess ups. I'm not gonna lie,
all good.
but they weren't drastic. It was always something that I was able to at least convey to them, like, hey, I didn't do too good on this,
Right.
Or if my clippers are too sharp, just let me know.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about how you word things to people, and they understand that I'm not where somebody is as far as going to school and being in a shop.
Mm-hmm.
They already have all this. I was self-taught, so it was a lot harder for me not having somebody to instruct me through the basics.
And was you cutting hair every day out of your crib, or like you had a schedule?
I first started off
in the beginning.
It was more or less. I had to hustle it. I had a hustler state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I told myself, if I'm out the house, I could just do this whenever.
Mm.
So it was a 7-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I started creating a demand for myself, I fell back to trying to end my schedule between 5 and 6. That way I had time to spend with my son and get out and enjoy life.
Right.
Then I started cutting off Sundays and Mondays, which is basically, that's pretty much relevant to all the other competing barbershops.
Right. So you were able to get those. You were able to be more convenient to the customer in the beginning, because of you needed that. You need to build that customer base.
Absolutely.
So, but then once you got that customer base and they were like into your product, then you can set your own schedule. You can set your own time. And you know what's crazy too? You was doing it in your kitchen, right?
Right out the kitchen.
And the lighting in the kitchen of a house or any house is probably totally not the same. Get those corners and those edges and see if shit is even.
It forces you to focus more because you don't have the resources and the abilities that the shops have.
Right.
And you more or less have to kind of get more know-how with the proper lighting and certain tools and regulations that shops have that help them give them more of a polished look to their haircuts.
Yo, do you suggest, like, would you dare make this suggestion that if somebody's trying to cut to start off in their crib and maybe if they can't afford school, like barber school, or it's beautician school too, right? They have beautician school that integrates it. Would you suggest that if they have a group of friends that they do that? Do you think that's a better way to learn, or you know what I mean? Like, because like my thing is like when you're starting something, when you're trying to start something from the bottom up, right? You want some type of guide. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you took a risk because you had some good friends that trusted in you, somebody who really didn't know any techniques. You had to learn everything yourself.
Hours of YouTube.
Hours.
So when I say hours, it was nights of YouTube watching, because I'm a visual and auditory learner. Mm-hmm. So just being able to get on my phone, everything's on your phone. You just get on your phone and you look at the do's and don'ts of what barbers are doing and the suggestions that they're making and how their haircuts are evolving. And you gotta. I don't want to say you got to compete with them because you're more or less competing with yourself out of the house because you're not in a situation where you got walk-ins coming in. It's more or less friend-based. So it's just a matter of just repeatedly watching.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So you were charging less then, right? Like because you were working out of your house and you were like still learning.
At the time, I was charging less, but it was more physical work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's high volumes at a lesser amount, but now I'm at a point where it's less volume at a greater amount. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's always a problem. Like when people like are learning, you want to learn yourself. That's good, but you can't charge like shop prices if you're not in the shop yet, or if you didn't go to school for it yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's always like a touchy subject.
Once you get to a point where you have the credentials and the experience, you decide to go to a home-based business for whatever reason. I feel as though you can't compete with, the public.
Did you end up going to school for it?
No, I did an apprenticeship.
Okay.
Yeah, I did an apprenticeship. For me, the apprenticeship gave me an edge because I already had the hands-on side locked down. Now, the technical side, as far as book work, that's the area that I struggled at because there's a lot of different things that come with being a barber that we don't practice on a day-to-day basis. Like most chemicals, we're required to do like perms and stuff like that. And I'm like, dudes aren't coming in the barbershop to get their hair straightened.
Hey,
you never know, right?
It might come back. It might come back.
Are you legally able to deny somebody, like, and say I can't do that? Like, I know ain't nobody gonna be like, I'm calling I don't know. Whoever the fuck
you have your discretion. You can deny service.
Okay. I mean, if you're not good at something, you're not going. You probably just.
Yeah, I just didn't
Some
know like
barbers
if
will
you're
just go ahead
required.
and some barbers just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, some barbers will, and
Ooh,
that's
with a bird.
that's a real
Right.
risk.
Burn them edges off, dog.
If there's something that I don't feel as though I'm not gonna say that I'm not comfortable with.
Right.
I'm gonna just say that it's not my strong suit. I'm gonna give you a prime example.
Right.
There's guys that like to get Beijing hair dyes. I don't like Beijing hair dyes because there's a negative side to that. You can have a serious allergic reaction. And most people aren't aware that you have to do a 24-hour patch test. You have to come in, get a little patch test behind your ear, and come back a day later.
What?
If you didn't have a breakout, then you can get it done.
Oh,
Man.
Some people are just
What?
jumping out the window and getting it done. Then they bump up in their face and
And
head
what
looks
type of
crazy.
bumps are they getting? Like big ass.
It looks like
big
got the
ass
measles.
it looks like
or
it looks like hives on crack, basically.
nigga.
Hot
Yeah.
on crack.
It's crazy.
Yo.
that I ain't in the dye in my hair. 'Cause
And that's I'm qualified to do it, but I just for that reason I don't want to do it. Nobody's going to blame me. Most people don't got patience. They don't want to come in Thursday, get their test done, come back Friday.
Wait, so how is that different than like dyeing someone's hair? I'm
Yeah,
guessing
word.
there's a
Is it
difference.
the chemical
Technically-
that Beijing is made from?
Beijing has a lot of harsh chemicals in it. I don't want to make Beijing out to be a bad company, but
Do it. Fuck Beijing, dog.
They have a lot of harsh chemicals. A lot of the stuff that's in Beijing, literally, you can find it in asphalt and crazy shit like that.
wow.
The shit that they make the highways with?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy. Like when you're putting it on, it literally looks like black.
Yo, these niggas are putting highway dust
It
on
looks
their
like
head.
black.
Sprinkle it in them.
Yeah, like some guys leave the barbershop and they're like, "Oh, I'll wash it out when I get home." And they walk out. You ever seen like little Lego action figures? Like
Yeah.
how it's like it looks painted and
Like the Carlos Boozer haircut.
basically.
You saw,
yeah.
oh no.
Oh, no. Like when Jamie Foxx was doing for like, until he finally went bald.
See, he was doing something. I don't know what he was doing. He was
Yo,
he
dog.
was doing something else. I don't know what it
Yo,
was.
Jamie Foxx was out of pocket, yo. Like his shit looked completely painted on. Like
Yeah.
that shit was crazy.
I have to call the ball and strike a strike. Safari. Everybody's seen that
Oh
video.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Where it's like his hairline was like 2 inches back, but he had all this paint. Looked like a Sharpie, like somebody
But
really.
his forehead is a little big. He might have wanted to do that on purpose.
I mean, shoot, I wouldn't rule it out. I got a
He got
big
a
ass
rude boy forehead. He got a real rude boy forehead.
There's ways around certain things.
Yeah.
But to touch bases on what you said as far as do I suggest, I at this point in my career, I strongly suggest that a barber starting out at least go to school.
Okay.
Because that will prevent you not knowing certain information that you're restricted from.
Does financial
And
aid cover that shit?
Yeah,
Oh, so hell yeah, man. You can go to school for that. You can double back.
exactly.
Oh. So let's talk about the branding, cause like I remember when I met you, you know what I'm saying, like you was starting to get heavy into like branding, promoting, and you come up with some crazy ideas. Like we did movie skits, like whole movie skits about getting a haircut. You was tied in the basement on the chair fighting the
Yeah.
guy.
I remember that.
That was a classic. I actually ran into that video on YouTube. And I was watching it, and I remember I was listening to them old beats that I made too for it. It just was lit though.
Yeah, man.
But the ending was hilarious. Just give me a call, man.
I've always wanted to finish that, but I just
Yo.
don't know where to like.
It is
how
to
do-
be continued.
Yeah, I just don't know how to continue it.
So, man, I don't. You, like once again, I know you got a lot. I know you're very strategic now. But you know what? All right. So, how did you go about thinking of those ideas back in the days? Like, I'm just always curious because you would literally just come to the studio and be like, "Yo, Josh, I got an idea. We need to meet up at the studio."
Right.
And we was always there, so we'd be at the studio like, "I'm here." So just let me know what you
mean,
got to tell me.
I'm a thinker, man. I mean, that's the only thing I could really say. I'm a thinker. Like on my downtime, even if I don't have downtime, there's times where I'm cutting hair and I'm thinking of different ideas as far as promoting. And back then I had a lot more downtime, especially like in between like researching YouTube videos and watching people. I had to shout him out. I'm gonna find a way to tag him to this joint. But one of the main people that I was following back then, his name was Chuka the Barber. And he has the 1 minute blade modification. It's like a big thing in the barber community. But that's somebody that I was following then. That was like almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I would just like hone into a lot of the stuff that he was doing, and it would help me touch up and brush up on my skills. But as far as like some of the ideas that I had, it's just like hours.
You was just coming up with it, perfecting it.
There's times where there's times where I might just be sitting around and out of nowhere I start laughing because I'm thinking about something.
Yo, I be
And
doing
they're
that
like,
shit,
yo, he's tripping. But like in my mind, I done came up with this whole dialogue and scenes of how to do this and how I'm going to execute it and what I'm going to make happen. And I do it to this day because now my newest platform that I strayed away from for the longest time, I've only been on Instagram for maybe 4 or 5 months.
You've been killing it.
And exactly, because
your presence is known. Like in the barber community section of Instagram. I don't know if you guys follow him. Best Barber 717.
yes.
We got him up on the bill. We got him up on the drop. The what do you call this thing?
Backdrop.
The
The
Backdrop. There you go.
Got you, dog.
We got him all over the backdrop. And if you don't follow him now. Brahim is gonna probably put up the little cool thing right here. Look. Best Barber 717 on Instagram. His Instagram is funny as hell. And it's dope because, you know, back in the days when my cousin and I was doing the videos, we would do the videos and post them up. And the cool thing about it is that Instagram gives you more time. So he's doing what he's doing with a minute just to promote him being a barber is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I see him, you know, grinding on Instagram and making his presence known. And it's really crazy. And it's just proof that hard work outshines talent every time. But the crazy thing is he has the hard work and he has the talent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's unstoppable. Like, it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, what ideas, without giving anything out, do you have, you know, going forward? Like, what approach do you have now as opposed to as Nasty Cuts? What is Best Barber 717 different from Nasty Cuts?
I mean, I'm gonna equate it to boxing.
Okay. I like where this is going.
Young Floyd Mayweather, he was cocky.
Mm.
You know, he would go out there, he'd showboat, he'd let you know what time it is and what he's about. Old Floyd, he's still somewhat cocky, but he's humble.
Right.
He'll go out there, they'll interview him. One of his biggest things that he always says is he was a tough competitor.
Yes, he did that.
He says that in almost every interview when he talks about his opponents. And that's the mindset that I have now. Starting off, it's just like, you know, I got to claim this.
Yeah.
I have to, like, in a sense, stir some stuff up, be cocky, let people know what I'm about. But now it's just like I'm already there, so it's just maintaining that. So
Okay.
I feel like I got to have more of a humble approach. There's times where I didn't care about going at the next barber's neck, but like at almost 30, I'll be 30 in June too, by the way.
Turn 30 in April.
You know, but at
scared.
almost 30, it's like I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
There's certain you get more clout, more respect by just being a humble person.
Right.
And realistically, outside of just barbering itself, I've had a lot of humbling experiences overall.
Mm-hmm.
So that just it keeps me more grounded. You know, certain things that you do when you're 21 versus 29.
Yeah. It's all lessons in humility. It's all about growing, and you know, I see the growth, man, and I think it's dope. Like when you switched it to Best Barber 717, I thought it was dope, and I also, like I said, like I thought it was dope how hard you were able to muscle through and just. I forgot about Nasty Cuts. Like I'll never forget about the Nasty Cuts era because it was so dope and you put in work, and I was a big part of that too. But the way you brought in this new look and was able to brand and reinvent yourself and just put a new image, you got a new logo, everything's different, and it's like it was always here. That's pretty impressive.
One of the main things that realistically it helped me a lot. I took 10 months off from Facebook. And
Facebook cleanse.
yeah, like coming back to Facebook was for personal reasons.
Absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
But you know, coming back into Facebook, I just realized what I needed to start doing differently. Because before there's times where I'm posting like BBWs, and I was just, you know, it's like there's times I might share like fight videos and like
shit.
things that I found humorous, but it doesn't really cast me in the best light. People were getting the wrong idea as to who I actually was.
Right.
So it's just like coming back into that, I'm like, all right, it's time to do something different. So when I reactivated my Facebook, most people didn't even know I was on Facebook yet. Well, back on Facebook. And then, because I would just be like on there just browsing.
Yeah.
I won't like nothing. I won't share nothing. I wouldn't even say anything.
Yeah.
But once I dropped Best Barber 717 on Instagram, I was like, okay, it's time to drop the alias on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's time to reinvent Facebook, Instagram, all my other personal accounts, and really move this thing forward on one solid movement.
Right. Well, that's dope, man. That's dope. And he teamed up with, can I say it, Thick as Thieves?
Absolutely.
We want to shout out Thick as Thieves. You can follow them at Thick as Thieves. That's AZ Thieves on Instagram. And, you know, they got all male hygienic products. You know what I'm saying? I hold that company near and dear to me. I'm not gonna do any more plugs. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to get mad at me, but you know it's a family company, and you know me, Nate, my cousins, it started from the ground up, and it's just proof that you know we're gonna muscle through and we're gonna push it because you know male hygienics. every guy needs to take a shower. Every guy needs to, keep his beard clean, and every guy needs to keep his beard nice and balmed up, so you get your fuzzies nice and shiny. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my
Go to
God.
Thickest Steve's, baby. You know what I mean?
And for the ladies, we didn't forget about you. We got Make Me Over Beauty Supply with it.
Hey, let's get
Don't
it.
forget.
Is that on the backdrop too?
Right around the corner, 17 South Beaver Street. That's my mom's. Please go show her some love. Love you, mama.
Is there anything you want to talk about before we get into these current events, sir?
One thing that I do want to talk about
Yeah.
is the importance. If somebody does start any home-based business out of their house, like I said, going to school, you get more of the black and white of what's set in the guidelines, the rules, and regulations of the business. But just learning the business overall. Most people think that start a small business, I have to go to business school. Business schools are designed to teach you how to run corporate businesses. Right. They're not designed to teach you how to start your own business and how to maintain and manage your own business. It's more or less going into a situation where you're working for somebody else and maintaining their business. So there's two key things that most people starting out in any business don't understand is the importance of having mentors and books. That's two big things that I didn't have when I first started off. And I got to plug him in here. One of the people that's seen what I was doing, he's done it himself. He's off into various different businesses here in York. And he's helping with the community as far as people he believes in is Brandon Marquette. He reached out to me. He donated a barber chair to me.
Shout out to Brandon, man. He really do.
Brandon Marquette.
He out a lot.
He was one of my first major influencers and mentors. And we had on the way to getting the barber chair, we had a somewhat brief conversation as to like what are my goals and where do I want to take this and how serious am I with this. And with him already being a barber, he's done this too, and he actually worked at the shop that I'm at now 10 or 15 years ago.
Right.
One of the biggest things that he told me is it's a personalized business, but at the same time the people don't care about you.
That's a fact.
They do. It's like hearing that, it's like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. But realistically, it makes perfect sense because I start seeing it when I would take, some time off, go on vacation, or if I was sick and I wasn't feeling too good. It's always about me. It's always, oh, well, poor me. I need a haircut. Well, when can you get me? You coming back from Ocean City today? I need a haircut. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to spend some time with my kid.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like
it's just like Charlamagne said in that Monique interview. It's a what can you do for me now world.
Exactly.
Everything is what can you do for me now.
And with those types of experiences that I was learning early on, there's certain things that I still do today. Like, I don't mind, like, prime example, if I need to take a lunch and I got my lunch planned out for 12:30 and there's a walk-in that's coming in and I feel like he's pressing, he's like antagonizing me. He's like, oh, I'm trying to get in and out. I got to go. Da-da-da. I'm like, dude, I got a 12:30. If you want to schedule for a later time or another day, I can handle that.
Right.
But it's not a situation where I'm going to pass up on my food and be in here, dehydrated, got a headache, or I'm just feeling fatigued because I decided to squeeze you in and say, fuck my health. Doesn't make any sense. So going back to what Brandon said, people don't care about you. It's realistic.
Yeah.
So there's times where I know when I need to take off. There's times where I know it's like, all right, I'm not in the best situation right now. I'm only scheduling everybody from 2 to 7 today.
Yeah.
Just to get my mental right. Because like you were saying about health, people don't realize. People think health is always about your physical. Health is also about your emotional and your mental. Those are the big
kills.
Those are the biggest factors.
Stress absolutely kills.
Yeah.
So you got to manage. You got to have checks and balances with everything in life. And that's becoming more. I feel like it's way more necessary, and it's crazy because, there's a few things there's a few subjects that I want to talk about based on some things that you said because I think you can actually attribute it to a lot of different aspects of what's going on in the world. But checks and balances, like you even need you even need to do your checks and balances on how much you are on social media.
Oh yeah.
Like, have you ever taken a break from social media for any particular reason other than something that you actually did? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not because you were posting so much or because, whatever, or you were looking at somebody's page that you don't like. What if it was just something that was just there? Just social media was just draining you. Have you ever taken a break from social media?
Yeah, I definitely do that. I get back on because I be bored, but I definitely do that. Or when you just feel like the negative energy is just sometimes it's attracting. So you just want to take a break and just reevaluate.
I think like lately what I do with social media, you know what I'm saying? And I only bring it up because I'm going back to what you said. You took 10 months off. And I know you had some personal reasons, but I think people should take time off from social media and just put your phone down and look at real people that you can feel, touch, you can talk to, you can share emotions with. Because, you know, in a text message, I could send you a text message of something that I could tell you in your face and get 2 different reactions. It is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And text messages was the start of that, you know, of this new way of communicating. Like, we have to word things differently when we're saying we have to word things differently in a text message or in a status or in a DM. And we can say it a different way personally and get a different reaction. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? I think that's why it's a new form of communication that we're dealing with, and we don't know how to deal with it right now. And also just a flood of information that we're getting. You can't even escape it. There's information on your timeline on Facebook.
Yeah.
We just have access to too much stuff.
It's too much shit.
Someone
I think that's why everybody's so fucking mad.
Distractions.
Someone was telling me they actually, like, you know, the little trap phones, you know, the flip phones.
Yeah.
You don't know.
The Obama phones.
Yeah.
Shout out to Obama.
They were like, I turned off my iPhone. I just got me a flip phone real quick because I wanted to take a break. And I was
It's
like,
crazy.
yo, that's a good idea.
It's crazy.
'Cause
I've considered that.
If I have a smartphone, I'm really going to get on it. Like, I could deactivate my page for a couple. I think I went like a month deactivate my Facebook.
What did you do in that month? Like, if you can recall, like, you don't have to be specific. Like, I went to
I went to Burger King.
I found myself at the Rudders sitting and watching TV on 30. Nah.
I don't know what I did. I think I just lived in the moment, I guess you would say.
Did you interact with your
people,
right?
yeah.
Like, your home life gets better.
Yeah.
I'll say personally, last year when I was away at school, I deactivated my page spring semester. And my grades were a lot better. I was in a better mood. I was more social. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like, at least for me personally, social media has made people numb to a lot of things. And I don't know if you guys know what hedonism is, but that's just the need for things right now, which is what you were saying earlier. Like, this day and age, everyone needs things, like, right now. Like, if it's not right in front of you, like, we got fast food, you know, 50, 60 years ago, that wasn't the norm to go eat fast food. And things like that, I feel like people, you know, with so many things that's just right in front of us right now, it's easy to get caught up in the moment, and it's easy to get caught up in your feelings about something that doesn't really necessarily pertain to you. That's why I admire you for, you know, deactivating your Facebook for 10 months and doing what you got to do. That doesn't sound like a lot of time to some people, but, like, in the world that we live in, like, Facebook is, like, an integral part of pretty much or social media in general is an integral part of people's lives. So, like, I feel like, you know, being 20 years old, I came up in that generation, but never really identified with it. But at the same time, I still see, you know, the effects that it's had on my personal life. So, like, I can definitely see what you said and what you said about not being on it as much. It definitely changes your mindset. Like,
I think it's crazy. I think that's dope that you're able to, because you really are part of that generation that you really don't know what it was like to have a beeper, right?
Nah.
Like, I had a
Absolutely
beeper.
not.
I'm part of that. We're part of that generation because
Yeah,
we're
payphones.
at the same age. Payphones, dialing 1-800-FAT GIRL because you can hear her say something on the payphone just to
Right,
hear
right.
it, make it, and be like, ooh, you know, we called porn. Now you can watch it on your phone. Before you had to call it on the payphone. but now it's like,
Shit, he don't even know nothing about dial-up.
Oh, yeah, I do.
You know,
I ain't that young.
I got
Okay.
you know, and we got to grow up watching all that stuff happen, and I just think, like, it was like this period from like 2005 to 2006, and shit just was like,
Bonkers.
pew! Like, we had an iPhone, and then the iPhone just did iPods, and it was just like, what do we do here? The
But see, like-
iPod is the iPhone. Why do I have two? And I got a PSP on my hip with the sidekick. Remember the sidekick?
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. And then next thing you know, my man had what's called a PDA phone. That was the first smartphone.
The BlackBerry.
No, it was
PDA?
after the BlackBerry. It was like when they first did the touchscreen. It was called a PDA phone.
Oh, the personal. Okay, yeah,
Bro. And then it just went crazy.
After
Now
that,
you can
yeah.
take video on your phone, and I was just like, yo, this shit is getting crazy. I
Yeah.
remember feeling overwhelmed.
Right,
When I
right.
was like 19, like, yo, what is going on? Like, what in the hell is going on? I'm still trying to find my Skonex account from 2004, fam. Like,
I gotta
what
thank my
the
parents,
fuck is going on?
My parents raised me up on, like, Guru, Smith and Wesson, like, you know, I know about the old school.
That's
like,
right,
You
man.
can ask anybody that knows me. Like, that's what I bump all the time. And, like, even when I'm in my car, if it's the newer guys, I'm listening to Earth Gang, J.I.D., J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, guys like that. So, like, when they had smartphones, you know, I still had the regular old phone because they was like, we're not gonna let you fall into this I didn't get a smartphone until I was a freshman in high school, and by then they had been out. You know what I mean? So like, my mind isn't necessarily like. I mean, like, yeah, now, like, I'm older and I've been around it for the last 6-7 years of my life, so it's kind of like, I mean, I fell into it. But, like, I got exposed to how it felt to be regular.
Yeah.
Like, now, I don't want to say it's not regular, but, like, the age of information that we're in is not what our parents grew up on, what you guys necessarily grew up on. So, like, I never really identified the people of our age. I've always been an old head up here.
But that's good.
Regardless.
I think one of the things that like I take from what you're saying is it's like your parents, they were able to identify how crazy this is. Like this boom of technology, and we're in an information boom right now, in my opinion. But I don't think we've actually recognized that. That's why we're doing things like cleansing ourselves of, all this information that we don't know what to do with. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think what your parents were able to do were identify that and say, okay, we're going to give this to him in dosages. So that way he understands what the idea of giving yourself something, whether it's physically or, mentally, in dosages. Right. So my parents, that's why you were able to go to college and say, all right, spring semester, my grades, I need to get my grades up. This is what it is. Yeah. This is process of elimination. Right. And I do think that this shit stems, I think that the anger and the passion that a lot of people have and just how quickly people are able to just lash out on subjects that they're passionate about, and there's this whole, like, teams. Everybody's on a team, right? It's the Me Too team, and it's the we're not all bad guys team, right? And then it's like the Trump team, and it's the not Trump team. It's the Democrat team and the Republican team. It's a team for everything because, reason why I think it's more team orientated right now is because I can go on my phone, right, and say in my head, I'm gonna look up all the reasons why LeBron is better than Jordan, and I'm gonna be able to go on Google and go on a Google K-hole forever and find page after page after page of stats embellishing and just gearing towards just how great he is. So when somebody comes up to me and says Kobe's better, I'm going to be like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way he can be better. You see this stat and that stat and this stat? And it's really hard to sway somebody it's hard to sway everybody to come to a common ground now. I think we don't know what to do with all this access to information. Right.
And I think that's what the biggest issue is. It's just like you said, like it's just so much at once. Like 2 years ago, I might have been like, nah, Michael Jordan was the best player ever. You can't convince me different. I was too young to even see Michael Jordan play. I might have caught a game when he was at the Wizards. I was 5.
So I'm pretty sure if Michael Jordan was to do like a celebrity game, you'd be like, yeah, I'll go and check it out, right?
Oh, don't get me wrong.
You'll be super excited to check it out because there's this mythical thing around him, correct? Am I right?
Yeah. But at the same time, like, my dad tells me this all the time. He's like, you didn't even see him play. You didn't see him switch hands on the Lakers in the finals and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see that. I can't act like I did. Even though, I identify as older than what I am. At the end of the day, I'm just a 20-year-old. I'm a 20-year-old sophomore in college.
There's just certain things that you couldn't live, that you didn't live through, and like, if you had to say, like, who did you grow up? You grew up watching Kobe,
LeBron. Yeah.
So those are the guys that you're gonna put up into a high regard and be like, yo, I'm. Who are you gonna run to see? Old Jordan, or are you gonna run to see LeBron and Kobe or somebody right? Because they're hot right now because they're putting in the work right now. Which brings me to my next subject. See how I just snuck that in there?
Oh, you're smooth.
You know what I'm going at with this, right, baby? Look at the camera. Need you to put Monique under here. Oh, yeah, we're going to go and revisit that. Okay, so let's talk about this. Monique. So I just said, you got to keep putting in work.
Putting in the work. And you know what? After we spoke on it,
talk your shit.
I can't disagree with you. Because honest to God, where has Monique been the past 10 years? The last time I saw Monique do a special, she was sitting up in the prison with a bunch of, you remember that special?
Yeah,
I could have been here, whatever.
Yeah.
That shit was funny. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But it was old. That's the last time I heard of it.
I wish I knew how long ago that was. I'm going to say 10 years.
10 years, roughly.
I'm going to say 10 years at minimum, and then we'll just assume that it may be more, but no less than 10 years.
Give or take 2 years or so. 8 to 12, somewhere
around. But like, my thing with her is like, like Monique, like, they made you an offer. Like, you guys watched the Breakfast Club interview, right?
Yeah.
Like, you watched a little bit of it. I know you watched it. And you can chime in whenever you want, because I feel like with the Me Too movement going on right now, and I'm talking to you because you're a woman, and I want to get your take. Absolutely.
Oh.
Very lovely woman. But I want to get your take because right now everybody's hypersensitive. Transsexuals are fighting for their rights, and now I feel like a lot of us are getting governed with what we're supposed to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just saw an article that said there's not enough transsexuals in the Black Panther movie. Like what? Like where was it in the comic? But that's for another time. I want to get back to Monique because at a certain point, and if y'all haven't watched the Monique interview, audience listening, watch it because at some point when her husband was talking about the deal and the offer, when they didn't like the offer, he immediately said some shit like, "Oh, there was a gray area and we lost communication. The phone hung up and they never called back, and we just assumed it was black." Yo, he literally went just straight up and said, "This is black. It's because we're black. Gender bias, color bias, comedian bias."
Which, by the way, that sounds like some nigga shit. Like, how you just gonna say?
He immediately ran to the victim card. What do you like? How does that make you feel? Like when you see certain women, you can call it out and say, "Yo, you're clearly just." Using your gender for a victimization status. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I just ignore it. I seen a post on Instagram and I just scroll past it. Well, I mean, I listened to it, but it was just we clearly know other women, female comedians are doing well and they're not complaining.
Yeah.
It's not, where have you been?
I think like he was saying, I think it's more of a case where has Monique been? I don't know.
But she's always been like that. She's always been dramatic about things, and
I mean, she kind of got excommunicated from the performing world after Precious because she's hard to work with.
Oh yeah, I did hear about the blackball thing.
She got blackballed, right? Yeah. And then she tried to attribute that to her race, and it's just well, I mean, at the end of the day, Denzel Washington is Denzel Washington, and Cicely Tyson. She never got blackballed in her 100 years of being a, you know what I mean? So it's at the end of the day, it comes down to your personality. I don't want to dismiss altogether, people being, I think, marginalized. Because at the end of the day, even Dave Chappelle is marginalized with his show. They wanted him to do one thing, he went in a different direction. Mm-hmm. So, you can't necessarily dismiss that ever happening. Like you said earlier, it's a case-by-case basis.
Right.
It's situational all the way around. But in Monique's case, and she goddamn wrong.
I just think it's funny how and I hate to harp on the interview, but I just thought it was fucking crazy because when she said when was the last black woman that got a big multi-million-dollar deal from Netflix, and Angela Yee was like, well, Angela Rye got one, this person got one. She said, okay, but black women comedians. I'm like, what? So what is next? Black skinny women comedians, black fat women comedians.
She had to be real specific.
She even called herself fat on the show.
Yeah, I just don't get it because who was the black lady that was on Ghostbusters? Leslie Jones.
Is that her name?
Is it Leslie Jones?
She's funny as shit.
I think so.
She's funny as shit, and she was being
funny.
championed. And I think she has some own stuff, her own stuff that she does. I think she has some insecurity things that she's been going through. Because I was listening to a podcast where they were reading that she put a post up about her going into the gym and not feeling like it matters. So I guess she's going through her own thing. But there was a time where, and I want to say her name is Leslie Jones, but we'll just say her name is Leslie Jones for the sake of it. The lady on Ghostbusters, look it up. She did a good job. She had a run, and I felt like Hollywood champion and was behind her. She was doing cover. She was doing the right. When somebody's has the path that they're about to be a star.
She had an SNL skit with Drake. It doesn't get any more on the way than that. It's Drake. You know what I'm saying?
And he represents black people too. You know what I'm saying? He's a biracial artist, and he definitely bigs up the black culture. And you got two black people on SNL, which you could say is a white platform, but they put them on there as the front, as on the front. You know what I mean? Doing skits together. She's in blockbuster movies. She's doing those right cover shoots. So I just I think obviously I agree with Charlamagne, Envy, and Yee, and I think everybody agrees with everybody who's not on her side. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that it's a case of being delusional, and she reminds me of the climate of what's going on in this world right now. Because like I said, it went from a black woman not getting a multi-million-dollar deal. Well, we got these people. Oh, well, it's a black comedian woman. And it's just how many different ways are we going to break this victimization down?
I mean, two things that I took away from that is this. Her history, it is valid. It makes sense. She has the accolades. She has the experience. So for her to feel disrespected by, what was it, 500,000? Mm-hmm. She may have taken that disrespectful, but it's all about her approach. One,
there was no counteroffer. The phone.
Not only that there was no counteroffer, it's the fact that you didn't have any other offers from anybody else.
Yeah.
That I know of. They're not talking about.
She wasn't able
They're
to say not one other offer.
Right. So
And
it's
they
like,
didn't count
okay, well, Netflix ain't working out. This isn't what we want. We can go to Hulu or I don't know.
Or do it herself because she's a millionaire.
Absolutely.
But
Like
then again,
you did it from the muscle. And I'm pretty sure if you had millions, and I apologize, if
no, you're good,
you
you're good.
had millions of dollars and you wanted to kick something off that you were really truly passionate about, you
Jay-Z
would
kicked
fund it
off
yourself.
Tidal.
Exactly. This
She
platform,
ain't no Jay-Z, but
make the platform happen if you really want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a bad representation of. I think women are honestly. I think at one point when the Harvey Weinstein shit came out, and it started with Cosby, but when the Harvey Weinstein shit came out, I was just like, holy crap! Like there is some shit going on. And then the Russell Simmons shit came out, and it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? And then other stuff came out that was really valid, and they were just admitting it. And there was some other shit was Kevin Spacey. That shit was
he looked at me the wrong way. Get him out of here.
Kevin
he hugged
Spacey.
me.
Kevin Spacey got what was it? Some guy said that he was like touching him or whatever, and he was like inappropriate. He sexually assaulted this guy on set, and Kevin Spacey was just like, "Well, I'm sorry about that, but I'm gay, guys." He just thought saying that he was gay was gonna save.
You know
him.
what I'm mad about, man?
He just said, like, he literally said, "I am now living my life as an openly gay man." But you sexually assaulted this man, so you gaily sexually assaulted this man. Okay, we figured that.
Yeah,
We figured that. You ain't got to tell us you're not gay, bro. You touched his pee-pee. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen,
that happened, dog.
This might be a really unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna just say it. Kevin Spacey, please come back and finish House of Cards.
Oh, no. They pulled the plug on that.
I
That's
know,
over.
I know.
That'll never happen.
I miss
bro.
it.
He's done. He's officially blackballed.
It's over. I know that.
Yeah.
But I miss House
think,
of Cards.
Yo, I think Harvey Weinstein's up on almost like, it's like 200 and something charges. That's
200.
Yeah, he's going to jail for like ever, bro.
Good.
He's going to jail forever.
Good.
But
He's
you
a
know what's
creep.
crazy? Is that so many people knew about it. And I know this is an old subject. I just find it crazy how so many people knew about it. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the sad part about that whole situation. And now I feel like there's a weird turn happening with Aziz Ansari. And it's just like now.
And Louis C.K.
That
He's
Louis
in
C.K. shit was crazy. He was
Yeah.
jerking off in front of them in the back room. Like Louis C.K. was going up to these fellow women comedians or whoever was there at his shows on set, and he would just be like, "Yo, can I jerk off in front of you?"
He kind of looks like he'd do
And
that.
he would
though.
proceed to beat his little pink meat in front of these joints, and then nut, and then just bounce. Dead silence.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
weird. All right, so we're gonna forgo Louis C.K. Go back to Aziz.
Yeah, so Aziz, it was just like, no, I don't want to. I do. No, I don't want it. You okay? And it's like, no. It's like, you sure? The whole time he's like, you sure? It's
Yeah.
out. You sure? You can leave. She's like, no, yeah. And she's no again. And then, yeah, okay, fuck it. And then she did it, and she was like, oh, his dick was little. He smelled like curry. And then she was mad, and then she was just like, I don't want to. I didn't want that. That was basically what she said. I
That's
didn't want to
extremely
have
wrong.
sex with him.
That's extremely wrong.
I
to do to
regret
somebody.
it. Of course. Hey, listen, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have bodies we regret. We just call that taking an L or taking one for the team or hitting
No
a
Ls
grenade
in
or some shit.
2018.
What is that? What do they call them? Grenades? Hey, listen. So Aziz was your grenade, but you can't.
At least
put
he's
this nigga in
famous.
jail.
Like he's famous.
Yeah, like she let him hit. Well, I don't know. Like, am I wrong? Like,
I think we need to dial it. I think we
female
need to
perspective here.
dial it back
Like,
a little
fuck
bit.
that.
I mean, okay, whether Aziz Ansari was a grenade or not, I think we need to
Well,
recognize
to her standards, because she
To her
obviously
standards.
he was so much of a grenade that years later she wants him to go to jail for hitting it.
Wait, but who is he?
Oh my god,
Who is he?
Aziz is the little Indian guy that was in the Watch the Throne video.
wasn't he in Parks and Recreation too?
He was in Parks and Recreation. You remember Get Him to the Greek?
Oh no.
No. Get out of here! Oh, I hate you. You just really played me.
All right, we're just gonna turn her microphone off. For the rest of this.
I can't remember.
The fuzzy wall.
He's a little
What do you
Indian
about
dude. He's a stand-up comedian. He's pretty funny. He's a
Okay.
pretty funny guy. But yeah, man. He basically he bagged the joint, and he brought her back to the crib, and you know she did the whole resist to give in,
Oh, okay.
and then she let him she left and then came back.
Was she a regular smuggler person?
I don't. Yeah, she's not a celebrity.
Oh.
This is Aziz right here.
Oh, okay. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
he's real like hip. You know what I'm saying? He be
yeah.
around the rappers and shit. He, real.
So
yeah,
she was clearly just mad.
So she let him smash, and then I guess like sometime later, maybe like a year or two later, I don't know. She goes and does the whole New York Times article thing, and it's just like now all of a sudden, he took advantage of her. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? You think they're starting to take advantage of this whole Me Too shit? Like.
Yeah, that's some Me Too shit.
And
that's some groupie stuff. Like when girls get mad or when a nigga like hits and quits and they get mad and they be like, oh no, he raped me or he took advantage or like stuff like that. Like
but it's different when you're a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Because if he was a nobody and that same situation happened, then she's just gonna have to eat that L.
She probably wouldn't tell nobody about it.
The thing that trips me out is like she came back. Like it's the same case with Bill Cosby. Like he was found to be innocent of all those charges somehow. Like
I don't know about that.
They said he was innocent.
Maybe.
I don't know. All I'm saying is in the case of
Jello pudding.
when you putting popping. Okay, no. In the case of Aziz Ansari, she took that man on a roller coaster of emotions. Like, you really gonna tell me yes, no, while my dick is hard? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, that's a little insensitive. But nah, I'm being for real.
No, because did she really?
Yo, it was literally like, it was like some high school shit, I guess.
And she described this like this.
She
like, I said yes, and then I took it back.
So all right. So I'm gonna give you an extreme so we can look at the extremes in this and then compare them, right? And I hope that's fair. The Harvey Weinstein shit was. These chicks was going in his office. They was there. He's the guy that runs the whole shit. Lionsgate Films. They're funding the film.
He's a powerful man.
And he's like, yo, I'm going to jerk off on this plant by my door. You're going to watch me. And then you're going to clean it up. You're going to clean it up.
Right.
Like, he was on some savage shit. He was raping them in the office. It's not funny, though. The rape shit, the jerking off on the plant.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know it was more than that.
The shit that he was doing to them, he was raping them. He was forcing them to, like, whop him off whenever. Like, it was some wild shit. You know what I mean? And then he was dangling these star movie roles over their head if they don't do these sexual favors. And he was very powerful and could blackball the shit out of them.
So, like, was he raping them or was he
He was straight up raping them.
It was coercion.
Well, yeah, something like that.
He coerced them into performing sexual acts.
So there is a law, apparently, that he didn't have to force them physically, but because the idea of them not getting the opportunity that they're there for and if so affiliated with him in the first place is hanging over their head, that's a crime.
But he didn't necessarily like rape them physically.
Well,
rape.
He did. He was having sex with them.
He was having sex with them, but at some point they just really wanted something bad. Like they
you
were
could call them opportunists,
right? But you got to look at it. All right, so I see what you're saying, right? So essentially, they let him, and you think they could have just walked away. So here's the thing.
That's what I'm asking. Like, so was it a situation like that, or was it like the Bill Cosby situation where? Like,
I think there were actually a couple situations where he did get physical in Harvey Weinstein's situation. Yeah. But the majority of them was just he's using his power, his status over Hollywood, the fact that he can totally blackball them. If they don't do this, he can blackball them. Like in the contracts, there's clauses for him, like levels to the lawsuits. Like it was like $50,000 for the first case, $100,000 for the second case. Like if Harvey does this to you, you get $50,000 for the first time, $100,000 for the second time. Like that's how much of an animal he was. There were clauses in his contracts when you did a film with Lionsgate or whatever it was, Miramax. So he was so dominant and powerful and just, royalty in Hollywood that people were just like, oh, that's Harvey. That's just how he is because he was so powerful. And if you didn't do it, you're fucked. You're not gonna get nothing in Hollywood.
But is that more of a testament? I'm sorry. Is that more of a testament to our current establishment though? Like we have powerful man in high up position, and this is kind of where some of the issue is coming from. Like, I'm glad in his case they went at him hard because, I don't want to sit up here and act like I'm Mr. Feminism and like I 100% support the movement, right? Because I don't. But at the same time, that's crazy. At the same, I mean, I'm be real with you. But at the same time, like that man, by every sense of the word, deserved it. I might even say Harvey Weinstein raped me. I never even met the man because he deserves to be thrown underneath the jail. Like that's just he was literally using his power, and I feel like that happens way too often and is swept under the rug just for the sheer fact that he's able to do so and no one's gonna call him out on it. But once it started coming, it came like wildfire. Yeah, but
it came like wildfire, and I don't mean to cut you up. It came like wildfire. I know you're gonna say something too. It came like wildfire for a lot of men now. Men all across Hollywood, music
Right.
industries, and I think now everybody is using the Me Too card, even when it doesn't apply. For example, Aziz Ansari
Does not apply.
He didn't force her back to his apartment. He didn't force her to let him smash. You know what I'm saying? He gave her the opportunity to leave and asked her if she was sure plenty of times. If she didn't want to do it, it's fine. She was the whole going back and forth in her head. I can't control what you did. If I was him and she was doing that, I would have bounced. Especially with my celebrity status, I would have told, listen, you should leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
I also feel like we can't just like. I feel like that's also a control issue. Like, okay, you
On what
really,
part?
but you really want to be an actor. Okay, I really want to be an actor. What was his name?
Aziz
Harvey?
Ansari?
No,
Oh, Harvey Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Yeah, like okay, for the woman he legitimately raped, like okay, then like that's something else. But for the woman where it's like, well, I'm gonna blackball you, so you need to suck my dick. Why would you suck his dick because you want that bad? That's either not for you or you need to just keep grinding, keep pushing. Like
You
I
know
don't
all
think
those
that should be
Facebook
an
posts
excuse.
where they're
Because-
like, "Would you lick these nipples for $100 million?" You've seen those, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you should go turn around and like.
But what if nobody
Sue
knew
someone
though?
for
What if,
it.
what if he said, "Yo, I'm you"? This is crazy. What if he said, "Yo, you if you just this movie's gonna last 3 months. I just need head once a week for 12 weeks. Suck this fat cholesterol clogged up ball sack, and you're gonna be the main actress, the lead actress in this film. You're gonna be Wonder Woman if you suck my dick once a week for 12 weeks while this movie's shooting.
But then
And
that,
nobody got to know. Now, I'm not saying you. I'm
yeah,
just
not
saying.
me. But my thing is, you can't turn around and then just like blame that on him. Like,
But why
bitch, you
not?
agree?
But why
Bitch,
not?
you
I
agree?
mean, because
Oh,
there's
I
more
like this.
there's more power in just saying no.
yeah, like.
So if there's 5 lead women that he has options to pick from, and they all tell him no, and then it just it's trickling effect, a domino effect.
and then,
Yeah, but
and
that's
then-
not the reality
but
of
no,
life,
But then,
though.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
the reality because you got so many people that will take the opportunity. Like, okay, you know what? Nobody's gonna know about this.
So then, what do you
yeah.
do? When you
can't
I'm just
complain
playing,
about
I'm
it
just playing
later.
devil's
you
advocate.
can't play a damsel in distress. Like, what? No.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, so all right, so I'm gonna throw another factor in there. Then now you've got the factor that he said there's 5 other beautiful women. No, let's say you're the 5th woman. There's 5 women altogether, including you. There's 4 other beautiful women in that hallway that could fill your role. You've been dedicating your whole life to this moment.
you're gonna pass.
And
it up
this
for a
guy
little bit.
basically has the power, because this is a fact. You spent money on acting classes. You joined SAG, which is the Union for Actors and Actresses. You did it all. You did little bullshit movie roles, commercial spots, everything.
Right.
This guy literally, this is a fact, can wipe you out of here like everything you did never happened. He has that type of power, and he's been having that power for years. And you're finally here. Fuck, I'm here in Miramax. This is the first. Here we go. I gotta meet Harvey. And everybody used to say, you know Harvey. That's a fact. And you go in his office, and he tells you that you got to do a sexual favor, and you take account everything. Are you that much more
Then I
willing
feel like
to
my
throw it
two-
away? And I'm saying anybody, not just her.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the 2 options would be okay. So I either can suck this nigga's dick and get somewhere, do a little something strange for a piece of change.
Rusty
my
trombone.
But yeah, so I can do that. I can do that and shut up and not like play a damsel in distress later on and just take that L in my mind because that's clearly gonna be in the back of my mind. Like,
Right.
bitch, you just did all this for that. Or I can just turn it down and get blackballed and then try to sue him and do whatever. I'm a very assertive person, so I mean, you know what I mean. If there's other ways around it, you can't just go with something and you're getting something out of it. You can't. No.
My thing is that I don't know too much about it because I stay away from those topics. But has anybody came forward in any time period that said like, look, Harvey blackballed me?
Yeah.
That's what I
came
was gonna
forward, like
say,
I've been
like-
stuck working at Walmart for 30 years because he shut my career down.
I think so I don't know that because I only looked into it as much as we actually discussed.
Right.
But the whole reason why, and I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I think Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know if you know her. She's the
I know
girl.
her.
She's the girl that told Neo to give me just one kiss. Remember her? Was that her? Maybe that wasn't her. Catherine Zeta-Jones was the one that was rocking out with Michael Douglas. Don't matter. Anyway, she is a big actress in Hollywood. Powerful actress. Done a lot of stuff. She's also done a lot of stuff with him. And she came out and she was the powerful figure for females, I think, that wrote that New York Times article and told her story about Harvey. So that was important.
Mm-hmm.
But it took all these years, and I'm talking years, man. Look at how long this dude's been in the game for him of doing this shit to women and suppressing them and just keeping them there and hanging his disgusting Jewish balls over their head and forcing them to do that in order to get roles. And then knowing he has this power. A woman like Catherine Zeta-Jones, and then you got Gwyneth Paltrow coming out. You know, everybody knows who Gwyneth Paltrow is.
Right.
I think that says something. I think that says a lot about your character. Like, now that I'm a famous star and I'm getting all this money, now I'm gonna come out and be the supporting person.
Exactly,
just,
but maybe she did that because now she feels like she has enough influence, and we're in a different time too, right?
True, very true.
The truth is gonna be coming out a lot faster than back in the 90s. We're talking about stuff that he's been doing since the late 80s, early 90s up until now. In the late 80s, early 90s, if you were Marijani coming up and now you got that meeting, you really gonna take a stance?
How old is Catherine?
Well, she's in her 50s at least.
Uh-huh.
So when all that shit was happening was when she was starting out. It was around that time.
Yeah.
There was no social media. There was no way to record him without having a big old box and some people in a van downstairs. Like, there was none of that. There's just word of mouth. And then you're just going to look like some girl who's trying to get ahead, like, you know, because somebody else did that and lied.
Yeah.
So it's a lot hard. It was a lot easier, in my opinion, to cover up the truth back then.
Yeah.
Than it is now.
Nowadays, you can just send out a tweet and it's like, oh, shit.
Exactly. The right person.
A lot of that control is based on fear, though.
That's true.
It's based on fear. I mean, because realistically, most of the major blockbuster films wouldn't be what they are if it wasn't for certain actors and actresses.
That's true, but but see, that's the thing, though. The whole debate, not the whole debate, but there's also a debate. It's like, man, like, how many of those actors and actresses got there from either knowing somebody or doing sexual favors? And how many of those actors skipped over somebody who could have been even better than them? Who really, truly, based on their talent, could have gotten there? And that's what brings me back. It is a crazy situation, because, like, all right, I appreciate you calling him out. But at the same time, bro, you waited till you had millions and raked in millions and millions, and now you're going to say something. When there was probably some lady in the 90s that was in that situation and decided to stand up, and we'll never hear from her again. She probably killed herself because she put all this time in, and it's stripped away, like I was telling you.
Yeah.
And that shit is really crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So now all those women that went through all that shit, you know what I mean, with people like the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, and they're forgotten. You know what I mean? And at any point, man, Oprah could have came out in the 90s. She was popping, and she knew about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people knew about it that was popping in the 90s that could have nipped this shit in the bun early.
That is
but
true.
they also say this about the music industry, too. I don't see
That's
too many
why
people.
Russell Simmons and L.A. Reid.
Hey,
L.A. Reid, too.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Who was B2K's producer?
Chris Stokes.
Chris
He
Stokes.
was raping Raz
he
B.
was giving him Chris
He
Stokes.
was raping him. He was raping
Was this
him.
hearsay or was this...
No, he was brutalizing that boy.
Raping him.
Yeah.
Like,
they used to have like sleepovers, all of them, and he would take him.
And it's crazy because the rest of the members keep saying that, like, oh, I don't know about that. Chris Stokes never did that, you know. But why is Raz B bugging out and just
out of
Chris
nowhere?
Stokes?
Yeah.
Like, but that's the type of shit that I'm saying. Because when Raz B did it, it wasn't, social media wasn't where it is now. So when Raz B did it, he just looked crazy. But if Raz B would have came out and said that shit today, I think it would be a lot different. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of those messages that people try to put out will be a lot different, man. Like, it's just the time frame that we're in. And I look at that Harvey Weinstein situation, and then I look at that Aziz Ansari situation, and it's just crazy because it's like, as fast as the Me Too movement like skyrocketed, now you're starting to see it trickle
lost
down.
its credibility.
Because now you got women that are coming out and their stories may not fit the narrative. And I think the fear now amongst the female community is that, damn, like, we have something that could bring awareness to this shit because it is happening. But now there may be these women that are going to come and try to utilize it for, you know, clout, and it's going to tarnish the actual real meaning of the movement. And that shit's scary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That shit is real scary. And I look at a person like Monique. I go back to that. I hate to go back to that, but that was the reason why I brought it up. It's like, she didn't get what she wanted, right? So she didn't like the taste of that situation. Right. And she's bringing up the fact that she's black, she's a woman, and she's heavyweight, and she's good. She's heavyweight. You know, that's hilarious. No, she's heavy. She said it. And what else? And she's a comedian. So I think we can put a criteria to anything we want just to victimize ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I just think that
Very true.
with social media, man, we have to have like a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we need to start capitalizing on Kylie Jenner, bro. Did you hear what she did?
What she do?
Yo, Kylie Jenner tweeted. Yo, hold on, I got it right here. Oh, Kylie Jenner tweeted, man, I haven't opened up my Snapchat in a while. Not really feeling that new layout.
I did see that.
Yo, they lost $1.3 billion by the end of that day.
Get out.
Did they?
Swear to God.
With a B? Like Billy?
Billy. They lost 7.4% of their overall shares because of her tweet. But yo, she's right. The new Snapchat layout, this is kind of menial. But yo, I was on that shit the other day. First off, my phone can't deal with it. It's probably because my phone is trash.
Yeah, your phone is trash.
My phone keeps crashing too.
My phone is trash.
He doesn't have an iPhone, so
my phone is trash.
iPhones are inferior
Trash.
to Android.
Emoji. Okay.
But anyway,
Stay
right
woke.
there.
Stay woke.
Right there.
It's easy to navigate, but it's just I don't want to do all that. I don't
The
care
new
about
layout
nobody's
is
story
crazy.
that much to.
My
do all
story, I have to go down to that thing that we used to drag down. It's so trash.
Word.
But I just think it's crazy how she was able to tweet out something and just almost destroy. Like, you took billions out of a company's pockets from a tweet. Like, that's influence right there.
She also got all these little girls out here wanting to get pregnant. So she got a lot of influence.
It's crazy, man. And it's crazy how she's used her influence. One of the funniest things ever was when they put a picture of Travis Scott and the real Kylie Jenner.
Yeah,
and they said,
yeah.
that's what that baby's gonna look like. But that baby ended up kind of cute. I just think the name is kind of weird. Stormy? What the fuck
Yeah,
kind of
like-
name is Stormy?
Stormy.
What is that? That sounds like a Pokemon, bro. Stormy, I choose you. That shit is crazy.
But look
shit.
at
I play
Kim's
Pokemon.
kids' names. What's the newest?
North and what is it? Prince?
No.
Saint.
Saint.
I like that, though.
Saint.
Saint's
I like
tough.
Saint's fire.
Saint
Saint West. That's hot.
West.
Hell yeah, that's hard.
Are you sure that's the name?
Yeah, that's
Saint,
his son's
that's it.
name. Yeah, that's his son's name.
Northwest is hard.
Yo, do you
They
feel
call
like
it
you
North.
feel like Jay and Beyonce like geoengineerically? Yeah, that's crazy. It's not even a word. They like genetically, mechanically. Had
What are you
those-
trying to say?
I feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce had those twins made on purpose. Twins. Because you know you can do
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
You can change their eye color. You can make them like
designer
You can make
babies.
them look like that ice cream that has vanilla chocolate
no
and
doubt.
fucking strawberry.
Wait, has people
You
seen
can do
pictures
all
of the twins?
types of shit.
I haven't.
Has people seen pictures
haven't
of
seen
the
Yeah,
twins?
she has pictures of him.
Oh.
Yeah, like she's in full mother mode, bro. Like she's not even fucking around. Like she hasn't even bounced back fully yet. But I'm cool with that. I think Beyonce should be a mom now.
Yeah.
Like, Rihanna looks like
Jay-Z's-
she's the mom of those kids, but I think
Yeah.
Beyonce should be. But I'm loving it. How many different parts of Rihanna's body do you want to bite, Nate, without getting in trouble?
I don't even know who that is.
Lying.
Nah, I really.
Rihanna?
Rihanna?
Oh, I thought you said Brianna.
Oh no, no.
And you did say
Rihanna.
Brianna. I knew
Oh,
you was
bad
talking
girl
about.
Riri.
Rihanna works at Chinatown
Hey,
Express.
Rihanna not a
Rihanna. Nah, fuck it. Nah, Rihanna's looking good thick though, man. She looks real
Thick
good.
on it.
She is, but I think something is up. There's no way she. But some of the
She's
pictures,
on new birth control.
I was gonna say she got that
Like,
depo shot.
some of the pictures do be like Photoshop though. Like
You think so?
Some of
no,
them, yeah.
because somebody like I be looking at the comments because comments are classic. But
Yeah.
people will put like the original picture, and you're like, why did
I don't
somebody
know. Who
Photoshop?
knows? Who knows
She's
if
not
they-
as skinny as she used to be. It's good
No,
weight, but
I
yeah.
love it. But she's West Indian, so it makes sense, right? Like they're not. They can look good thick. They can look good thin. She looks good. She's like a West Indian.
I think she
milkshake.
got her titties done though.
You think so? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
They are sitting up pretty nice, but I don't care.
They didn't get that big.
Listen,
It's possible, yo.
You was a B, now you like a D. No.
Well, there's not water in there. Like it's fat. So when she gets fat, I'm pretty sure the
No.
titty gets fat, right?
the titties
Do you know
are-
how many people got fat? How many people you went to high school that got fat that were flat chested? Now they double
That's a
D's.
fact.
But it's some people have different body types, like proportions. Like
No.
I don't know, man.
Oh, come
I don't-
on now.
I don't
You
know,
can't sit
man.
here and
'Cause she
say-
was wearing
I
that
watched,
sundress
I watched
and her
American
titties
Next
was
Top
kind of
Model,
hanging.
so I know
Yeah.
when
in the
people
way
have
that it was
fake
natural.
titties.
All right. I
Like,
trust you. Women
yeah.
know. Women know.
wait, you
All
said what?
I watched America's Next Top Model, like grown up. So Tyra used
Next topic, please.
Tyra used to like she used to like be like, did you get your breasts done? And somebody would lie and say no, but everybody knew, and then they would come out and
Yo,
say.
she
so,
would.
like,
Yo, if I was on America's Top Model and Tyra Banks would have been like, "Did you get your breast? Did you get your forehead done? Your forehead look like a titty." Fuck out of here. I don't
Put a
like
little
Tyra.
nipple in the middle. You don't
She's
like Tyra
wet.
Banks?
Nah,
Why you-
I met her.
why?
I met her once.
oh, and that's why you don't like her.
Yeah,
Why?
You try to shoot your shot, she blocked you, ain't?
I was like 10, man. I couldn't even. My pickle wouldn't even fit.
So you don't like her based off of based off of meeting her.
Now you know what though? On some real shit though, like all right. So my dad used to work for Victoria's Secret corporate, right? And I met Naomi and I met Tyra. I met Heidi. I met Giselle. Mm-hmm. Giselle mad cool. Heidi's mad cool. Naomi's mad cool. Tyra was just mad stank.
Naomi's mad cool.
Naomi Campbell?
Yeah.
She's mad cool.
Just don't piss her off. She'll throw shit at you.
I'm not pissing her off. I was tense. She was all hugging me. She gave me a picture. Naomi Campbell gave me a book, like a picture, and I used it as a bookmark in the 5th grade. And I got suspended for it because she had lingerie and you could see her Oreos.
Maybe it's because you were a kid.
Respect.
Yeah, I was in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe Tyra just ain't like kids.
Can we talk about that though? Like, wait, hold up.
That's fucked up.
She don't.
She can't have it.
Oh, she can't.
Oh, I thought you knew that. That's why you said.
No.
I thought you was
I'm saying no. Maybe she don't like kids.
I don't know. I thought I was likable. Shit, Heidi Klum got a. Well, nah, I'm not gonna lie. Tyra's pretty. Tyra's up there. She's an angel. So that's like the Hall of Fame of Victoria's Secret girls.
She's like forever.
Nah, she's legit. I just didn't like her attitude. I was young. I probably wanted her to like hug me like Naomi did and squeeze my face.
So don't be telling people you don't like her.
I'm telling
you just had one bad experience.
I had 3 good ones though with supermodels.
Right.
Yo, I met 4 Hall of Fame models, bro. Clapping for myself, goddamn. Fuck that shit, man. Clapping for myself.
Yeah, clap for yourself because no one else is.
Fake titties though. Cardi B's titties are trash.
Are they?
I was disappointed to see her naked.
Her nipples. Where are they?
She got chopped up, dog. Yo, you know how everybody go to DR to get their body done? She went to DR, but she went to DR. Like she went there when they got to climb up and chop the coconut down. DR.
Oh,
I clean it up. Goat shit in the backyard. DR. She did that shit in a barn. That shit look crazy.
They don't look like they have bounce to them.
They don't, and they really they lay on her bottom of her rib cage.
You long titty, no nipple having that. That's what it looks like.
But I love her though.
Yeah, her personality is dope, but her titties is trash.
But I think she caught a crazy L when she was talking all that blood shit, like coming back at Nipsey. Like Nipsey told her something about, like she put some shit up where she was like wearing a blue mink, and she was like, I don't normally wear flu, and it's just like, why would you say that? Like you got Billboard charters right now.
What do you think of Nipsey's album?
Nipsey's album is album of the year so far for me. What came out this year so far?
Not too much.
I'm not sure. And nothing has impacted me musically than that album so far.
Nipsey has nothing but classic.
Migos album came out, but that album's trash.
Migos,
I didn't even listen to
that. Kodak's album's
Moneybagg Yo.
Moneybagg Yo is dope. I like Moneybagg Yo, but I'm not putting those guys in the same.
Tory Lanez just dropped, didn't he?
He did just drop.
No, he didn't. No, it's March 3rd because he named his name. He just dropped a 3-song.
He's dropped some. That's what it is. Some singles.
He dropped a 3-song EP that's named March 3rd.
Oh, that's the best album out right now.
Hold on.
We ain't get there yet.
Hold on. Have you even?
I'm just saying we ain't get there yet, but I foresee it's.
No, I think. All right, so I'm happy we're in this conversation.
Is Drake dropping this year? Is he dropping something this year?
Drake,
yeah.
100%. I think everybody's dropping. I think Cole's gonna drop. I think
Drake's
gonna drop.
Yeah, I just talked to Drake. He said he's dropping October.
Really? You go Light Skins Unite. Light Skins Unite.
Yeah, man, it's a light skin media.
I'm J. Cole. I'm J. Cole. I do not identify. I do not identify with light skin.
Have you seen Black Panthers though?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. It's dope.
Oh my god,
it's cool. I'm gonna go see it for the second time tonight. It's a good movie.
You gonna see it tonight? That's what's up, bro.
I keep telling everybody it's worth seeing twice.
It is.
I haven't seen it yet, and honestly, I don't really care about being spoiled because I'm all like not being spoiled, but
the movie
really
being
care
spoiled,
about spoils,
right?
Because I mean, I go and I enjoy the movie anyway.
Right.
I'm
Fact.
straight through the glass, kicking down the door fast. Gotta take it, never ask. Selling probably never last. Keep buzzing straight through the glass, living life too fast. 200 miles.